Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with match number 1 with our Mirage Visions Weatherlight draft. This is an interesting hand. It's not very aggressive. It's not what I wanted to be with my 1 drops and 2 drops into our later 4 drops, 5 drops, 6 drops. But we do have a Thundermare. We do almost have the mana to actually cast the Thundermare. And really no dead cards. We cannot draw into a dead card at this point because more mana makes us able to cast the Thundermare and everything else we can cast in our deck, except for the 3 red mana Phoenix. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. And again, we're on the draw, so this makes it a little bit more powerful because we have an ability to draw into a fast card like a rock here. Tendrils of Despair. Okay, there is one dead draw that we can draw into. So let's go ahead and play the black mana for the Funeral Charm. And Funeral Charm is good at getting rid of that last card in his hand, but if he puts out a 1 toughness creature, we can actually kill it this turn. And did he really keep a 1-lander? He kept a 1-lander. Alright. So this makes our hand even that much better. Okay, there's another card I guess we didn't quite want. Again, though, it can save us some damage and do damage back to our opponent. And later game, that might be relevant, especially if he's like a green deck that ends up casting like that 8/4 Harvest Worm or whatever it's called, or Crash of Rhinos. This card can actually do a lot of damage, so you never know when that's actually going to be relevant. So okay, so here's a Knight of Valor. Knight of Valor is actually very good against us. Yeah, because we still have 8 cards. We haven't missed a land drop. We didn't just pass the turn on accident, did we? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because this is his third. This is turn 3. All right, so I got messed up here with what turn it was. Here I'll play a land. And next turn we can Minotaur. Now, flanking creature, each creature without flanking, blocking gets -1/-1 till turn activated ability once each turn. Okay, it's a good aggressive creature, but it's only 2 damage per turn. And if we go into later game, Thundermare is going to continue to beat him down. If he puts out any 1-drop, we'll be alright. If he goes down to 1 more card, I'll Funeral Charm that 1 card out of his hand, and maybe it might be a bomb. So he strikes first. Again, no point using Delirium quite yet. And yeah, I think we do just Funeral Charm that. Just get it out of there. So here we can go the Minotaur and get in for 3. I think that this Delirium is actually going to be relevant. As he's down to a 17, the race is on. We have the mana now for the Thundermare. If we get out a rock or anything that's kind of insignificant at this point, we can use Tendrils of Despair to get rid of 2 cards out of his hand. This would be an amazing card to reprint in Standard right now with Waste Not. I would love this, as you get so many zombies with Waste Not. So far, still, he might be just mono white. He might be just missing his land drop. So here's the thing. I could go Tendrils of Despair. Nah, it's just going to be Fledgling Djinn. And we'll attack in. And I hope he does put out a big drop. This turn that we can Delirium down, because he's already down to 14, and a Flash for strike. Okay, not a bad card. So just a kind of a white weenie, but Mirage that doesn't really I mean, 2/2s for 3 mana are always not very exciting. So there's his red. So he's a red-white. And let's see if he does decide to attack him with both. Going to be taking damage here. And I'm hoping he drops a big creature, because then I'll just use Tendril of Despair next turn instead of the Thundermare, because I do want to get in them for the damage with the Fledgling Djinn and the Haster. If I have to tap down my creatures as well with Thundermare. So, not the most exciting. He becomes blocked. Becomes blocked is +2/-2. So, don't know if I want to use that. Yes, I do. I might as well use it now. So we're going to tap this down, do 2 damage to him, and we're going to wipe his hand, and then it's going to be a race between the Thundermare, Minotaur, and then he's got to top deck into something too, because we're getting rid of 2 cards out of his hand with the Tendrils of Despair. And this gives us something else to cast here with the Fallen Ascari as well. So let's go ahead and attack with the Djinn and the Minotaur down to that 7. I'm going to clear his hand, so he'll be in top deck mode. And ooh, okay, Ward of Lights, so he's going to give Pro Red. And we'll go ahead and cast this. Alrighty, so if he attacks in with his Raging Gorillas, and he just passes the turn, huh? That was a bad play on his part. As now, Thundermare can get in there for that. Five damage. He'll be down to a 2. And then next turn, if we can attack with everything, we can hopefully get in there for the last 2 damage, or just at least make his blocks pretty bad. But, I mean, it really is down to top deck mode for both of us. I am a little bit better board position, and, of course, life total is better. And a 5/5, of course, is really good. So, no play on his part. I think I will just alpha swing here with the Minotaur. And he doesn't have anything in his hand. So, going to the sideboard, he has a lot of early creatures. Now, Army Ants could lock him out. I don't think that we make any changes here. I think that this is fine, as is. So, I'm going to go ahead and submit this. I think we have a pretty well-rounded deck. This I have to return an untapped swamp with Everglades. I do think this is an okay hand though. We can't cast anything. We do need to draw land, but if we draw a swamp, it becomes pretty good. And again, we are on the draw, not on the play, so this hand's a lot. I don't think this is a keepable hand on the play. So again, we really desperately need to hit that swamp. And we do not hit it. So I think at this point we'll just discard a Boiling Blood. Is the weakest card here. And most likely going to lose this one is just too far behind now, too. I mean, if we get a swamp here, it actually won't be that bad. But it's a mountain. Okay. Something we can play, but again, going to need some help for this to not be a loss. And once again, we fail. I'm just going to go on to the next game. I don't think there's much I can do to come back from this. We did not have anything for a long time. There's not a swamp until 15 cards down. So we're on the play on this one. I'm still thinking we're fine as is. No changes needed. I won't keep that one lander. Probably should have read the card again. I thought at first... Yeah, it's got to be a swamp that has to be returned. So the card does have some drawbacks, especially with only 7 swamps in the deck. But, I mean, I still think it's worth it. The Kangaroo lands, it does basically the same thing a Kangaroo land does in Modern. Or if you ever draft that format, they were really good just because it was kind of like card advantage by your land producing extra mana. Anyway, I like to play first. We'll keep it. It's not the greatest hand, but Legend of Jin just might get the job done. And we could get a fast Thundermare out if we can draw into anything but lands here. So opposite is happening this game. We'll throw the 2/2 out. And hopefully it doesn't have a very aggressive hand. But that did allow us to actually cast the Bogarden. So I don't have a play here. It's a good time to use the Everglades. And now get that out the next turn. All right, so next turn we'll have excess lands. I mean, we have lands forever to cast anything. Wishing I would have an Army Ants now, because then we could sack lands to keep his lands down. But Yeah, we need to draw into Thundermare. We need to draw into something else that's bigger to start outclassing his stuff. So just taking one, and of course the Fledgling Djinn will also do one. But all of my creatures are evasive so far. There's a 2/3. It's going to get in there for some damage before I can deal with it. And there's the Rock Hatchling now that's really, really slow at this point. We'll go ahead and throw out a Mountain, throw out the Rock Hatchling, and get it for 2 more damage. Good news is the Rock Hatchling can chump block if I need it to. And my deck does have the ability to burst with all the haste that we have in here. And next turn, the Everglades will allow us to get out the Bogardan Phoenix, which can block a Raging Gorilla and come back, which will definitely be worth it. Still an okay life total. Our opponent is hitting all his land drops and progressing his board each time. So we just need to avoid lands. Agility. All right. Well, we can chump block if we need to. And play this bad boy. So Agility will flank it. His Raging Gorilla, so it'll make it a 2/2. And then his Raging Gorilla will get +2/-2. So it is worth to definitely block that if he decides to block. Or decides to attack with his Raging Gorilla. And then this will come back either way, so he either has to respond to that. And I want this dead because Bloodrock Cyclops I can't really play until we get rid of the Raging Gorilla. This goes back to my hand, or nope, goes back to battlefield. So, right, I am doing this. Gives him +1/+1 flanking. Playing blocks this creature gets -1, -1. So this becomes a 2/2. But this says whenever Gorilla blocks or becomes blocked, it's +2/-2. So it goes down to a. So I will block, absolutely. And now he's got to respond. And he's going to give it first strike, but again, it's still a card that I get out of his hand. And this allows me to swing with the Phoenix and then keep back the Bloodrock Cyclops to block the following turn. And then he can't even attack with the Raging Gorilla. And Rock Hatchling's getting closer to becoming a 3/2 flyer. Still hitting those land drops. It's down to a 9. Opponent looks a little bit flooded as well. And that's awesome he's attacking in. Because now it allows me to block. And each turn that I don't take damage puts me ahead in the race. He's actually on just a 2-turn clock now with the Phoenix and the Djinn. And he allows that to go away, which he could have, if he just blocked with it, could have been better. Yeah, I don't see us losing this. I might just keep my fledgling Djinn back and play it safer. Depends on what I draw here. That's going to be game. That's going to be the perfect card, as we're able to attack in with both of these. And he just can't deal with the flyers. So quite impressed with Delirium, actually. Card's actually doing a lot of good. So fire breathing. And now we'll use the Delirium to tap down the Sawtooth Ogre. Might as well just use it right now. Avoids some damage. Yeah, and I don't think he had anything in his hand anyway to win the game. So we would have drawn into a Blood Arc Cyclops and a Dark Ritual. And nothing for a while, so we did need to win that game ASAP before he draws out of it. And just the evasive flying. The Rock Hatchling, of course, is going to be a 3-2 next turn. And yeah, I'm liking the Fledgling Djinn. I'm liking the deck that we chose. I think it's very powerful against the his decks. Like, everything just seemed to either evade, go over top of him, or just outclass him. Like, my 3/3s come out a turn earlier, my 2/2s come out a turn earlier, etc., etc. And of course, Thundermare and the Bograda and Phoenix are both pretty much bombs. Anyway, this has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.